Here I'm going to describe a planning system called SOSTAC, which was created by P.R. Smith, who is one of the main authors in the digital marketing area. You can use SOSTAC to manage a marketing communications initiative, or indeed as a way of planning any kind of comms activity. It starts with S of the situation analysis. Here, it's suggesting that we think about the audience we're trying to reach. It keeps talking about customers, but it might not be customers. It might be some other kind of audience. So you need to start by understanding what's going on within the organization you're representing, but also within the marketplace. What is the competition doing? And what might affect this marketing communications from an internal and an external point of view? It says here internal capabilities and resources. So one of the things you might consider is things like a budget, or what sort of technical capabilities an organization has, or what stories it would be able to tell. Having worked out where you are now, you now need to set some objectives. If you think of the planning process as a bit like planning a journey, you need to know where you are now and then figure out where you want to get to, and then figure out whether you actually got there. So this objective setting uses the 5 S's, which is another model that's prevalent in digital marketing. And it suggests here it's sell, serve, sizzle, speak, and save. Those are the digital marketing 5 S's. But actually, you could use objectives in a more general sense, as long as they're smart. So you need to know exactly where you're trying to get to in a measurable and specific way. So having set some objectives, you now need to arrive at a strategy. How will you get or achieve these objectives? Top level though, so this is the overarching approach you're going to take for achieving your objectives. And then the T is the tactics. This is the detailed bit. So here you might come up with a plan. For example, suggests here a content plan. So what will the content be? What sorts of material are you going to need to deliver, and what format will it be in? It's more specific than the strategy. A gets more specific still. This is the actual delivery phase now. So you would think here about an actual plan. Who is going to do what and when? You might use something like a Gantt chart to manage this, with different responsibilities allocated to different people. And then the final phase is control. Any sort of planning system will normally have a measurement phase at the end, because this is how you can tell whether you actually did achieve your objectives. So here it's talking about KPIs, user experiences. So some of the controls will actually be embedded in the channels you're using. So if you have a video that's going to be viewed on YouTube, or if you have social media messaging, almost all of those platforms will have a free analytics analytics tool embedded in it, so you can see how your content performed. Notice that there are arrows between each phase of this model, and in fact what happens at the control phase feeds back into the next set of objective settings and strategy, because it's not usually a one-time deal. It's usually a learning process, which is the reason why it's kind of circular here rather than linear. If you're going to apply this either for an assignment if you're a student, or if you're going to use this as a way of managing a project of your own, I suggest you read about it a little bit more. These two books both have the model described in far greater detail, so E-Marketing Excellence and Digital Marketing Excellence, both of which are co-authored by P.R. Smith, who devised the model in the first place.